Hello everybody. So I didn't quite finish telling you the story of what happened with my Paraguayan road trip. What happened after I returned the car? So the first time, as I mentioned, I had no problem. They gave me my deposit back, no issues. Just charged me an extra 100,000 guaranis for cleaning up the car, which is fine, 13 bucks. No problem there. Yeah, the second time things got a little interesting. Now remember, as I mentioned, the second time they didn't even bother charging me the deposit. So when I brought the car back, I I brought it back with a full tank of gas. While they only required it to be 3/4 full, yet the catch is that apparently I was supposed to have brought them the receipt for every single time that I had filled up the tank. And as it happens, I did not know that. It wasn't a contract. I didn't read the fine print. I didn't bother studying the contract in that level of detail. Now they're telling me they're not going to return my deposit because apparently I didn't save the receipts from each and every gas station. I mean, I told them that I filled up my tank 6 hours ago in Ciudad del Este on the other side of the country. What am I supposed to do? Oh, I complained to the manager, and the manager said that, well, some people put the wrong kinds of gas into the car. I don't know, maybe somebody was stupid enough to put diesel into the tank. You gotta be mighty stupid to do that, really. There's many kinds of conventional options to put into your normal car, but okay. So I'm speechless. Who in their right mind would say that it's reasonable to not return a deposit? Simply because you didn't save, the customer did not save the receipts for gas? Now imagine how they would have reacted had there been a legitimate issue. Imagine that had I gotten into a fender bender. Imagine maybe had there been a scratch. Would they still have insisted that there should be no deposit return at all? Even for the slightest damage? So I told them that I will reward their wonderful behavior with a 1-star review on Google and everywhere else, that I will also contact various groups to advocate for the rights of consumers and elsewhere. And I will document all of my correspondences with the managers, attendants, and company representatives. I will address them all by name. That customers have rights, and that their future customers have a right to know about the fraud that they had attempted to perpetrate on me. Suddenly, the so-called manager, changes her tone with me and says that she's just a 20-year-old clerk, apparently not even a manager. She has no business experience and does not know what she's doing, and she will contact her superiors for clarification. Lo and behold, apparently they had withdrawn their threat to retain my deposit. But little did they know that these people never even bothered to charge me the deposit in the first place. Okay, and then later this evening, something odd happens. Apparently I see a credit of $252 in my bank account, presumably from this company, and then they had retracted that credit. Interesting, so this is how they covered their tracks. Whoever worked for this company is trying to make it seem like they had gone through the motions of sending something and giving it back. Now imagine what a mess this is. They never bothered charging me a deposit, and then they threatened me with a deposit retention, that they would not refund me the money that they had never charged me in the first place. But just to be on the safe side, I told them that if they were to charge my card for any reason, I would call the bank and claim that these charges were unauthorized, and that I would follow through with all of my other promises, that I would absolutely review my experience with them, and I would contact various expatriate communities to make sure they know about it, and I do everything in my power to make sure this kind of behavior does not go unnoticed. But at the end of the day, they did not do any of this. They did not try to charge my card again. They did not even hold my deposit, did not even bill me for the deposit. So I guess no harm, no foul. And I'm not even gonna bother mentioning this tiny fly-by-night company here in Asuncion. I do not want to give them any business. Folks, you gotta be careful with who you give publicity to. You may think that you may feel a sense of righteous indignation, where you deservedly give someone a 1-star review, but keep in mind you're also giving them exposure and publicity. If you really don't want them to be successful, just ignore them. Don't give them any publicity. And maybe do so only in the most extreme cases where the story is just so outrageous that you'd be doing a disservice to your community by admitting that. So that is the story. But then again, is this small fly-by-night company really that bad? Well, it depends on the country, it depends on the context, it depends on a lot of things. In Brazil, I used an international company called Localisa, an international car rental company. I had no problems with them, but in Paraguay, they're a bit different. In Paraguay, when I went to Localisa, they wanted to charge me $100 for 2 days for a basic economy car, which is $50 a day, no problem there. It's only it's 20-30% more expensive than the small fly-by-night company. But the problem with them is that they wanted to have a $500 deposit. I thought that didn't make much sense at all. Is that I only paid them $100 for 2 days and a $500 deposit? Now that seemed excessive. And to make matters worse, they wanted to have a credit card specifically, and if I were to pay them with my debit card, it would take 4 months for my deposit to be released. And even if I had paid with a credit card, at minimum it would take 7 days. So I thought that was excessive and said no thanks. I don't want to pay $500 as a security deposit for a 2-day rent when the price is only $100, and I don't want to wait that long to get my deposit back. So the small fly-by-night company that tried to scam me one day, or did they really? It's a shady gray area thing. Anyhow, the small company definitely offered a better deal, cheaper price, a smaller deposit, $252 instead of $500, and they released it immediately the first time that they charged me. So the moral of the story: be careful with smaller companies. Make sure you save your receipts for everything. Make sure you read the contract very carefully, that all of your I's are dotted and all of your T's are crossed, because they will try to take advantage of you. And if they do take advantage of you, know your rights, know that you have a right to dispute the charge with the bank in the worst case scenario, or write them a negative review, threaten them with that. Make sure that they don't take advantage of you. Sometimes going to a smaller company with a questionable reputation is going to be the more expedient and more economical option. Thanks again. You'll be hearing from me again soon. Check out the description of this video below and feel free to book a free consultation with me anytime. That's right, a half an hour